Hello, very good morning. How you doing? You're watching Chris on Real Talk on Friday. What is the date today? The 26th of March 2021, and it is 9 o'clock and 29 seconds. Good morning. So I do hope we're all well. I hope we've had a very good week. It is Friday again. Again, that's what it says. Happy Friday, everyone. I think. Is it Happy Friday? Is it? Because to many people, it's a very good day. Friday. It's the end of the week, the start of the weekend. It is what it is. It's a great day for people that have been working their backsides off all the time. Happy Friday. But for many people, it's not a happy Friday. And there are still people out there, unfortunately, who sadly lose their loved ones on a daily basis due to COVID-19 and other illnesses. So, to everyone who is suffering in any kind of way, shape, or form, you have my full condolences in that respect. Um, but no, COVID isn't over. We look at the figures on a daily basis, and yes, there are new cases, close to and up to over 6,000 new cases a day, but the death rate is coming down, um, which is a good thing that the death rate is coming down. But there is still a death rate, which I still think is heartbreaking. Um, but it is coming down, and I hope that is everything to do with people doing what they're supposed to be doing, with staying at home and social distancing, along with the vaccine rollout as well. Um, Sarah's Random Videos, good morning, how are you? Kieran Gallagher, how are you? Good morning, thank you very much for joining me on this somewhat grey Friday morning. Um, it's a funny one, really, because I do tend to lose track of the days. I don't really have much of a yay moment when it comes to Fridays anymore. Um, Not that I had much of yay moments when it comes to Friday anyway. Lee Jones, good morning. I'm all right, mate. All right, Patrice, good morning. Uh, it just it's a weird one to try and get to grips with. Um, so I do apologise if the stream does drop out a little bit for some reason. Virgin Media, even though they have a very good speed, they're very unstable lately. And they're being very funny with me when it comes to getting things done. So there is that. But it's been a long week. I've been on at Clarion Housing, and for those of you that follow the news, there's been a bit of a brouhaha with Croydon Council in regards to the damp in this person's property, and the walls, the ceiling were black with damp, mould. And Croydon Council denied any knowledge of it, refused to help, and that is something I'm all too sadly familiar with, because you might look into my living room and think, oh, it's grey, it looks somewhat nice, it's a family home, it's lived in, he's doing all right for himself, he doesn't have any mould. Well, I do. It's in every room, it's in the corner just here, it's in the corner over there, it goes down the wall over there, in every room in the house, it is literally everywhere. You can't see it, but across the top here, the corner, from one end of the room to the other, there's black mold. And I have to go over that once a week just to clean it and try and kill whatever spores are there, and it keeps coming back. Our bathroom, and I did take some pictures, but I'm not going to show you the state of my bathroom. It got to a point recently where I was cleaning it every week and it was coming back thick. The black patches on the ceiling, the walls were literally mold covered, and I would bleach that every week. And I got in contact with Clarion Housing. So Clarion Housing, if you're watching, please pay attention, because I'm not finished with you. And they sent someone round to do a mold wash. And what that basically means is they come round with a bottle of bleach, which is stronger than you can pretty much buy, like the Sillet Bang stuff. It's a lot stronger than that. And he went around the entire bathroom and he got rid of pretty much all the mold that was there. But that's just surface mold. It is already coming back, and it's been just over a week, and I'm deliberately leaving it I'm not going to clean it. I'm deliberately leaving it sit because I said to the guy that came, I said to Clarion as well, I said, this is literally delaying the inevitable because this isn't the first time we've had Clarion come to do a mold wash. Um, and I've had to scrub the walls over the last few years so much that it's taken the paint off the walls to the down to the plaster. So when I got in contact with Clarion again about it, delaying the inevitable, they were like, oh, well, we need to do a mold block. Okay, fine. A mold block. I know what a mold block is. It's when you get the mold paint, it's white, or if you get the really good stuff, you can actually colour it to whatever colour you want to go in whatever room you want. But that costs money, and Clarion ain't going to want to spend any money, are they? No. But, and it stinks. So for those of you who know, mold blocker paint stinks. And the things that goes on, and it pushes mold back, pushes it back, and leaves a kind of membrane. But the thing is, we've had that in here years ago, and again, it's a temporary thing. So I said to Clarion, if you're going to come into my property to treat the damp, which is your responsibility, because it's basically caused through your neglect of the buildings, because the brickwork needs repointing. Yes, I know exactly what I'm talking about. All the damp in the bathroom is literally your responsibility. I've told you for years about the damp in the bathroom. You've done nothing about it. And you want to come into my property and do a mold block with this paint? Yes, they said. I said, okay, fine. Well, if you're going to do that and destroy the decorating in my property with white paint that stinks, that pushes the mold back, then you can redecorate my property. No, we can't do that, Mr. Stabler. Well, I think you can, because the mold is pretty much your responsibility as I'm paying you as a customer. Why is this seen as good value for money? Why is that? If I'm paying money to you for a service, which is basically the flat, you're basically in charge of the maintenance of the building. And the building itself, built in the 50s, is damp. So they can sort the damp out, and any other damage that they cause to this property that I'm paying for, they can rectify. Why should I spend my money, which I don't have a lot of, in redecorating after they pretty much destroy the decorating in here? That's already been partly destroyed by the damp. So why should I fork out any more money for something which is literally their problem? So the people that are in Croydon in that flat, you've probably seen it. I feel for them so bad. I really do. And I hope they get everything that they need out of this. And everything they should be compensated something ridiculous. I believe in that. You know, but it's not great for a few reasons, and I'm going to say it because people are going to start thinking, oh, Chris thinks he's the prophet. No, I don't. I make very sensible predictions based on knowledge, is what I do. I look at things and I assess things, and I'm thinking, well, if this is going to happen, then that's going to happen. My mind works in a very, very forward-thinking motion. I don't look to what happened in the past. I look forward to what's going to happen in the future based on what's happening now. And for the last year, I've been pretty much calling out everything that's going to be happening in the UK. And by and large, I've been bang on the money every time. I have. And so when I heard Rishi Sunak say, I'm going to be extending furlough until the end of September. This is an unprecedented, generous thing that the government, the UK government, is doing for the people. And I can say now that furlough will be extended until the end of September. This is going to help businesses keep their staff, regenerate the economy, and blah, 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 Rishi Sunak. But when I heard that, alarm bells started ringing in my head, because why are you going to increase furlough when they are going to be releasing lockdown in June? Because yes, I could understand if they extended it till the end of July or possibly the end of August. That I could swallow that, because you know things are going to take a little bit of time to get back to normal. But the end of September, really? So of course then I start thinking, well, they must know something that we don't. they're going to start saying, well, there's going to be another lockdown. I'm not going. I've said this irreversible lockdown. We're not going to come out of lockdown. We're not going to go back into lockdown, and we are going to be working from home, but staying in, but going out when you have to, but don't go out, but do go out, but stay home, but don't stay home. That sort of thing from Boris Johnson. But the thing is, I was right, because the lockdown laws are in for another 6 months. And this is from Sky. And we've got a load of bullet points here from the Sky News website. So this is purely what I've found from Sky. So credit for this goes to Sky. Key points on the Sky website is Boris Johnson lockdown powers extended for another 6 months, but it doesn't change the roadmap. Okay, fine. So we're not going to go into another lockdown. However, he can impose and take away restrictions as he chooses. He can literally pick what he wants within these 6 months and cherry pick the good bits and the bad bits and tweak and adjust. So he's not going to put it into another lockdown. He can literally play with what he wants as he wants to over the next 6 months. I'm all right, Chris. I thought I had COVID, but thankfully I tested negative. It's difficult when you think you've got COVID, because if you have a nasty cough and you're feeling crap, you start thinking the worst. It's like, what do I do? Have I got COVID? But the best thing is you went for a test and you are negative, so that's good. I do hope you're well. Point number 2 on the Sky website says, pub vaccine passport idea blasted as PM confirms proof of jab won't be needed to enjoy a pint on the 12th of April. Now, I've got mixed emotions about this, because although I understand why people don't want to have a, proof of jab to enjoy a pint, although they won't need it, I understand why it was floated around. I actually think it's a good idea. I mean, I had a bit of a funny, just like pick and mix. Yeah, pretty much just like pick and mix. But I had a small conversation with a friend of mine that I've known for a while, and he said basically, so you're going to discriminate against people that don't have a jab. They won't be able to buy a drink. So I said, what, like discriminating against a 17-year-old for refusing to serve them alcohol? The way you got to look at it is the pub industry. They've taken a massive, massive, massive hit. And it's difficult for them to try and claw anything back. I get that. And they want to try and make it as safe as possible for not just their staff, but for their customers. So they want people to be as safe as possible. So if you're going to go into that establishment, you're going to need to have had at least one jab. I get that. I understand it, because they don't want people to go there that haven't had a jab, catch it from someone that has had a jab, that aren't showing any symptoms because their body's fighting it. And then obviously they get coronavirus and possibly die. And where were they? They were in a pub. And if they'd had that jab, they would have been prevented from dying. And the pub owners don't want that sort of responsibility put on their shoulders. Like, if someone got COVID from my pub and I let someone in who didn't have a jab, and now they're dead, and that's because of me, because I let them in. I get that. Equally, I do understand how annoying it is to have a proof of jab, because would it be allowed for the staff to work if they hadn't had a jab? And I'd argue yes, because you can get lateral flow tests. You can go to the NHS website, I believe, because my missus orders them. And you can order a box of 7 tests from the NHS. They turn up in 24 hours. That is literally a test a day. And you can keep ordering these things. You see? So if you've taken a lateral flow test that day, it's a case of you can prove that you've had the test, that you are negative. Take a snapshot of it or take it with you in a plastic container and say, look, I'm negative. This was taken today, whatever. But, so lateral flow test is, so the staff that work in these pubs could take a test a day, wait half an hour, get the result, then go to work. Not a problem. So that, to me, is a no-brainer. But I do understand the frustrations. The the stream on this live isn't the best at the moment. So I'm going to go into the settings quickly. If it drops out, I do wholeheartedly apologize for it. Let me have a look at what's going on with the bitrate on this thing. No, that's not going to solve anything. Let me try and do this. Connect to the Wi-Fi. Because do you know what the weird thing is with Virgin Media is, as good as their speeds are, like I said before, it's very choppy. And I found the weirdest thing is I get a better connection with Wi-Fi than I do over a wired connection. This is a wired connection we're talking on. So if someone can please explain to me what is going on, you know, just let me know. Someone here called Ultras commented, who cares if it's annoying, for fuck's sake. If you take the jab, if you get COVID, it reduces the risk of you becoming seriously ill or dying. The benefits outweigh the annoyances. Ultra, you have won my star pupil of the day. Well done. This, to me, spanks of common sense. Thank you very much. My argument is it's better to have it and than need it and not have it. You know, it's literally a case of it will save your life. That's my argument. This is why you should have the jab. Yes, there are side effects. Yes, you'll feel crap for about a day or two afterwards. Q driver. Oh, what's going on? I know who you are. What's going on? But yeah, it's better to have the vaccine than not have the vaccine. Seriously, I understand when there's people that genuinely can't have the vaccine because of whatever medical condition they may have. I get it. They might be allergic to some of the chemicals in there, what have you. But unless you're medically exempt from having the vaccine, you know, you could be pregnant, whatever. whatever your reason is medically for not having it, I understand. But if you choose not to have the vaccine, then as far as I'm concerned, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's like walking into a volcano without a heat suit on. You get to the edge. Oh, it's a bit warm here, isn't it? I'm just going to carry on walking. You know, I'll be fine. I'm not going to die. You know, then all of a sudden, the weirdest thing happens. You know, you could slip on the tiniest loose bit of rock and fall to your death. You know, or just get seriously burnt. You know, you could lose a leg to lava or whatever. You is it worth taking a risk? Is it worth it really? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. If you can take the jab and you're skeptical about it, would you rather have the jab and have some side effects for a little while, or get COVID-19 and then potentially die? Is that what you want? No. So, or maybe it is what you want. No, if that's what you really want to do, then go out somewhere, go lick every window you can and let people cough in your face. For those of you that don't want to have a jab because you feel it ain't the best thing, then go out there and let someone cough in your face. It's the same thing. Kind of looking forward to getting my vaccine whenever it's my turn. Yeah, do you know what? I understand that, Jack. It's going to take a while. But anyway, let me get back onto some of these points from the Sky News website. It says here, NHS England reduces COVID alert from level 4 to 3 as pressure on health service eases. This is good and bad. You know, I see that as reducing the terrorist threat, because terrorists, it's funny that, look, do you know what they do? They watch the news, don't they? So when the government says, and the terrorist threat in the UK has been reduced from severe to somewhat less than severe, terrorists are going to go, yay! They're not going to suspect a thing, are they? No, why are you telling us that the NHS is reducing the severity level from 4 to 3 at this point? That's just going to tell people to be even more complacent with what they're doing. So that annoys me, drives me mad. Oh, Patrice, I saw that comment. Why did you remove it? You should have just kept it up there. Losing a leg to lava. Ooh. So that annoys me. Over 50s urged to book jab before Monday as vaccine rollout due to slow down. Yeah, that's very true. Um, if you are over 50, book your jab. Book it, book it, book it, because they'll only give you an appointment if they know they have the stock. And obviously, there is a bit of a problem with stock at the moment, thanks to the EU. Yay! And obviously, the production of the AstraZeneca vaccine in India. Yay! These things not coming across. And I still say the EU aren't letting us have what we've paid for because they want to hoard it for themselves because they're so behind on any kind of vaccine rollout. These are controlling people. The countries themselves, the people themselves are wonderful countries, wonderful people. It's the idea of being overruled by a massive, unelected conglomerate of people who think they know best when they don't. They're bullies. You see, the European Union is a union of great nations, but it's who it's run by is where the problem lies, isn't it? That just, I'm not going to go there. It now says, I'm just going to look down here. It says, young people aged 10 to 19 now have the highest infection rate at 100.7 cases per 100,000, up from 79.7. So I understand that because older people and more vulnerable people are getting vaccinated, not a problem. But to say that the infection rate is up in younger people is wrong, because the infection rate in younger people would have been exactly the same because nothing has changed with them, has it? No, it's high now because it was high then. You see, and now that schools are reopened, they're actually they're encouraging children. They can't force children, but they're encouraging children to have a lateral flow test 2 or 3 times a week. Fantastic idea. Should have been rolled out to start with when schools reopened the first time. That's exactly what I think, and I'm never going to go back on that. And I do think that children don't suffer with it as much, but they do carry it and they do pass it on. That's what I think. I think that's what it's always been. I don't think the number is up. I just think that it's being twisted slightly to make it look different. But I reckon it's always been like that. So there we go. I've got hiccups. Oh, by the way, I just want to say a shout out to my lovely Mrs. Haley. And for those who don't know, she is on Instagram, Creations by Haley. She does do a lot of personalising of different things, mainly for us, for at home, basically. But she made this, and for those who know what my favourite saying in the world is, you'll know what this is. Are you ready? Bosh! Oh, look at the pecs. What's this? Look, my favourite. Look, no sympathy for stupidity. Bosh, one of my new favourite t-shirts of all time. Ultra says, I disagree. The EU are not bullies. They are merely putting their own interests ahead of anyone else. And the thing is with the EU is, if that's the case, if that is the case, if we were still in the EU, okay, would we have even a third of the amount of vaccine distributed to our population over here? No, we wouldn't. The reason why we got that is because we were free of the EU to do what we wanted. We put that order in first. You see, we looked at the risks of the vaccine. We knew what was going on, but we got the order in first because we could. They delayed so much. When we were rolling out AstraZeneca, they were still going, I don't know what to do with the AstraZeneca vaccine. I don't think it's safe, but I do think it's safe. And the UK are rolling it out across the population, and I don't know what to do. I'm going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs about it and not give anyone the vaccine at all. And really, really. The European Union only does what's good for the European Union. Okay? Not the people, but the people that run it. And I see the reason why they're so bitter about the UK leaving is because we were the second highest contributor financially to the European Union. And they wanted us by 2023 to have the euro. which means you wouldn't be earning any more money, you'd be earning less money because the currency is worth less. Get it? Worth less. Sooner or later, that currency is going to crumble and buckle into absolutely nothing. People are saying, oh, but the pound is losing against this, that, and the other. The pound is still stronger than the dollar and the euro. Even if it's by a little bit, it's still stronger. Okay? So I don't want to be using euros. If I see a loaf of bread that costs £1, I know it's going to cost £1. I know what I'm going to be earning per week. So if we end up earning euros, my money isn't going to go up any week. It's going to be exactly the same, but the cost of bread goes up to €1.50, as an example. Just throwing that out there. But it's not right. It's not right. And the thing is, they want to make a European art. The reason why they're so bitter because we're not giving them that money anymore is because they are losing funding for a European army. Why would they need a European army? Why would the European Union, which is a union of nations for the purpose of trade, need an army? Why is that? Why is that? And now they can't do it. And they don't like it. The UK signed a contract for the vaccines first. EU just can't handle that. Again, bang on the money. We got in there first. And the thing is, it is a contract. It is a contract. Contracts usually can't be broken. And if they are, there are penalties involved. That is what happens. First come, first serve. Yep, again. John Fernandez, thank you very much for joining me. The EU said the vaccine was unsafe to stop outside countries from wanting it, thus increasing the amount of vaccine available in the EU. That, to me, sounds like deception. Does it not, John? Does that not spank of deception? Yeah, we're going to tell the world that the vaccine is not safe, so we're not going to give them the vaccine. So we're going to hold on to the vaccine ourselves. But in holding on to said vaccine, the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccine, we are still not going to give it to the people of the European Union. It's not happening, really, is it? And you've got to look at Europe now. There are countries in Europe which are going through a third wave. They're going to have a third peak. Think about that. If we were still in the EU and travel restrictions weren't as tough as they are now, would we have the vaccine rollout the way we've got it now? No. Would we be expecting a third peak? We would probably be expecting a third peak in this country anyway, but we would get it a lot damn sooner than we would now, if that makes sense. I'm really struggling with it today. I can't deal with idiots. I can't. The EU is a good idea in practice, but when they start controlling people's lives, no. Nurses, I love this one. You love this one because we all love the NHS. The nurses in this country, in fact, nurses across the UK are fantastic. I think they're angels. They are. They're gifted to us by some heavenly being, and they look after us. They saved my life. So the way you got to look at it is this. Okay, this is what Sky says, and it is true. Nurses in Scotland to get 4% pay rise compared with 1% in England. And the reason why that annoys me, this is the reason why it annoys me, because Scotland is subsidised by the equivalent of tax revenue of London. Isn't it? I'm not wrong on that. That's a fact. There are more people in London than there are in Scotland. And all of those amazing subsidies that Scotland gets is the equivalent of the tax generated by London alone. So that bugs the hell out of me. So they are able to give their doctors and nurses 4%. And that's a good thing. I'm not knocking them for 1 second, because if they can do that, do you know what? Fantastic. If it was down to me, I'd make it 5. The reason why it bugs me is because for the money that we give to Scotland, this country, England, cannot give over 1% to our amazing doctors and nurses, or all NHS staff, from the cleaners up to consultants. Why is that? Considering they budgeted for 2.4%. Why is that? I don't know. I don't know. Again, if it was down to me, I mean, look at the Chancellor. The Chancellor has the control of the budget. You see, he can find money for this, that, and the other. He can spend 13, I believe 13, I could be wrong. Someone do some fact checking for me. 13 billion pounds on an app that didn't work to start with, and track and trace, which is relatively ineffective. 13 billion pounds. So if you can find that for a dodgy app that I'm pretty sure a 20-something millennial could have made in his bedroom quicker and cheaper and better, and a track and trace system which is not very good. Sam Stephen, good morning. You know, why does it cost that? Ultra says, dude, look at the clowns we have in charge. I'm not disputing that. I know we've got clowns in charge. But the clowns that we have in charge, even though they're moving at a snail's pace, and everything they've done has literally been 3 months too late, and I've been saying this for the last year, even though we've got clowns in charge, they try. They do try. A lot of people don't like what they have to say because it involves lockdowns, which I'm actually a fan of. You know, they put restrictions in. People don't like restrictions because, you know, I can't go and see my friends at the pub. Tough. It's a short-term pain for a long-term gain, isn't it? You know, it's like when you go and get a massage, a sports massage, you know. You're aching, you know, for a proper sports massage, they get in there, they get their elbows in there, they crack you, they hurt. It hurts. A proper massage hurts. But it's short-term pain for a long-term gain. Think about it. All the restrictions, everything that's gone in this country by this government, as clowny as they are with the best intentions for everyone's health and safety. And sooner or later, we are going to come through this. And if it was done any less than what it is now, people would complain about it. If there was done any more than it is now, people would complain about it. You can't please everyone. That's a fact. But they're doing the best they can, even though they're slow about it. Okay, so yes, they're clowns, but clowns with good intentions. The EU, on the other hand, have no good intentions with any of their people, and I feel for them. I can't wait for Frexit. You see, I can't wait for the Italian exit, however you want to call that. You know, Germany's exit, Grexit. That'd be good, wouldn't it? You know, whatever. I do predict in the next 20 years the EU to be down to at least 15 nations. That's what I'm predicting. Quote me on that. 15 EU nations. You know, it does drive me mad. Casting doubt on the vaccine didn't work out for them. So now they are threatening to block exports. Yep. Thank you very much, John. Again, just like me, a Eurosceptic by the sounds of it. And it just makes sense, doesn't it? So let's go on to what else Sky News had to say on this website. It says here, US President Joe Biden aims for 200 million jabs by his 100th day in office. Well, I've taken a step back from looking at American politics. If he can promise that and deliver on it, then good for him. Trump would probably have said, you know, we can get we would have got 300 million done. Because it's just, I'm the best president that's ever been here, and you know, I'm President Trump. Let's make America great again. 400. You know what? I'll do it myself. 1 billion doses of the jab, and I'll do it myself. You know, you can't. It's always going to be. They always promise something. If they deliver it, great. But you know, just whatever. Just don't tell us what you're going to do. Just get on with it, Joe. Honestly, I feel for the American people because you were the best they had to offer. You and Donald Trump were the best a great nation had to offer. Think about that. You've got a nation full of scholars, really intelligent people, actual people that love their country. And yet, the last president we had was a billionaire who was a good businessman, but literally is an idiot. And the other guy, from what I can tell, from all of his time in some kind of government position, has accomplished absolutely nothing. Nothing. And he's the president. So, of all the intelligence that you have collectively in America, please, please, at the next general election for your great nation, do not present that nation with two idiots. Get someone who is actually going to do something, who is educated and has morals. Those were the two best options, really. Honestly, drives me mad. A nation like America can put all their hopes and dreams in two idiots. Honestly, drives me bloody mad. Are we at war with China yet? I don't think so, and I hope not, because we'd get absolutely annihilated. That's a fact. The reason I was going to actually bring up China today, because when the World Health Organization went over there and they said that there's no trace of it, COVID-19 being made deliberately and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 right? They weren't let into everywhere. They weren't shown everything. They were being kept back. And I do still believe that COVID-19 was around at least October 2019. That's what I believe. And the reason why we started noticing it is because it started to get real. Do you know what I mean? It's like it started to pick up. You know, and it's that when there's more cases, it starts to get noticed more. So that's what I believe in that respect. I believe that China knew about COVID-19 long before it was reported on. And I also believe that China should be held accountable for allowing those types of illegal wet markets to exist. So every country that has lost someone, that has had to spend billions and billions of their currency in protecting and research, in funeral costs, in healthcare, send that bill to China. As Donald Trump would say, the China virus. I'm not going to call it the China virus. That's inaccurate. COVID-19, which originated in Wuhan, allegedly. I believe it came long before there, but within China. It is their responsibility to hold their hands up and say, do you know what? We're really sorry. It was our responsibility. We didn't know what was going on with it, and we allowed it to escape the country. And all of this is literally because we didn't put a stop to illegal workings. So I think they should be fined. China have had ages to hide evidence, if there was such evidence, says Jack Hemmons. Yeah, I believe that too. You know, playing devil's advocate here on Tony Blair. You know, a lot of people don't like Tony Blair. They call him a warmonger for taking us into war with Bush and this, that, and the other. But they went into Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction. That's what they said. Okay? Everyone else will say it's because of oil. They went over there because of oil, blah, blah, blah. And yet Blair said, we're going over there to look for weapons of mass destruction. They had plenty of warning. Did Iraq not have plenty of warning? To hide weapons of mass destruction. I'm just saying, for all of the things people hate Tony Blair about, is it not plausible? Is it not possible that, I believe it was Saddam Hussein, hid weapons of mass destruction before anybody got there? I'm just saying, what if? I'm not defending Tony in any way, shape or form. Much. But you got to look at these things. So, since COVID-19 outbreak happened, they knew the World Health Organization was going to go over there. hide the evidence, isn't it? It drives me mad. Watch Through the Storm Inside the COVID-19 wards on Sky Documentaries on Thursday at 9 p.m. on Sky News on Friday at 9 p.m. That's an advert. I'm not going to read any more of that because that is now irrelevant. But you know, this is what we have to deal with now as human beings. We are going to have to live with COVID-19 for a while. It ain't going to go anywhere anytime soon. But we can do the best we can to prevent getting it, and we can do the best we can to prevent giving it to other people if we do have it. Just take the jab. Obviously, if you can't for medical reasons, then don't. But if you're not medically exempt from having a vaccine, get yourself a damn vaccine. You've got AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, whatever else other companies are coming out now with vaccines, and they are effective. Some more effective than others, but if you're having a jab, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You see? And then the doctors in Wuhan who raised concerns suddenly disappeared. The doctor who raised the concern in Wuhan got coronavirus himself and died. That's what happened. I'm not even making that up. The guy that raised it to China, the government, caught it himself and died. And they didn't take him seriously. Not at all. Not even a little bit. They just didn't take him seriously. In the words of Uncle Roger, hiya! For those who don't know, go check out Uncle Roger. Brilliant YouTuber. He's on Facebook as well. You see, I can just imagine the words that would come out of Uncle Roger's face when coronavirus disappears and it's eradicated from the rest of the world and no one has it anymore. Fuyo! Uncle Roger is so happy. No more coronavirus. Makes me want to eat egg fried rice. So I love Uncle Roger. He's such a funny guy. Coronavirus make me sad. Make me take my leg off chair. Now I have to watch people cook stupid egg fried rice with colander. Why do you use colander on rice? Why you measure water for rice? Use finger. You see, so I could just imagine that sort of thing happening on. He's such a funny guy. Anyway, look, I've had enough of a rant and moan this morning. Happy Friday, I think. I hope you're all enjoying it. Enjoy the rest of your day working, and please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. All the good stuff. Love you lots. Mwah.